Right now, as we speak, astronomers at the Nordic Optical Telescope in the Canary Islands are poring over fresh images that could rewrite what we know about interstellar visitors. Just captured on the 11th of November, 2025, barely 3 days ago. These stunning exposures reveal a ghostly expanding ring encircling the coma of comet. Now 3 Atlas, alongside a sunward antitail that's stretching out like a cosmic finger pointing back at the sun. This isn't some distant echo from the past. It's unfolding in real time, with the ring's diameter clocking in at 4 arc minutes and ballooning by a full 20% in just 4 days. Scientists monitoring the data are calling it a ghost shell, a faint symmetric halo unlike any dust trail we've seen before. And as of today, the 14th of November, 2025, the antitail is still growing. It's defying the usual rules of cometary physics. Is this the signature of exotic gases erupting from a carbonary heart, or something even stranger? We're witnessing it live, and the implications are racing toward us faster than the comet itself. Breaking just this week, the Nordic team's observations have ignited a firestorm in the astronomy world. Dr. David Jewett, leading the charge from UCLA and collaborating directly with the Nordic Optical Telescope, announced the findings in a preliminary report released yesterday. November 13th, real-time data shows this ghost shell expanding symmetrically around the nucleus. JWT stated in the update, "It's not the asymmetric dust ejection we expect from solar heating. It's balanced, almost deliberate. And that's not all. The sunward antitail, which should trail away from the sun under normal orbital mechanics, is instead projecting forward, now extending over 10 arcsecons and lengthening by the hour." NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory is cross-verifying the images right now, with their orbital models updating as we speak to account for this bizarre behavior. This is actively developing. No one's hitting pause on the telescopes. In the last 24 to 48 hours, additional frames from the Virtual Telescope project in Italy, snapped on November 13th, corroborate the Nordic data showing the antitail's dramatic elongation. Gianluca Masi, director of the project, posted the images online this morning, noting the ion tail is getting longer by the minute. But this antitail, it's a rebel pointing right back at the sun. Preliminary spectral analysis from the Nordic scope, conducted overnight on November 12 to 13, hints at elevated CO2 levels. Carbon dioxide sublimating furiously from what could be an unusually rich nucleus. Unlike the dusty tails of solar system comets, this ghost shell suggests isotropic gas release, a uniform burst in all directions that forms a near-perfect ring. The diameter jumped from 1.17 arc minutes on November 7th to 1st. For today, a 20% surge that has modelers scrambling. JPL's latest trajectory refinements published just hours ago confirm no fragmentation. 3 Atlas remains intact, a single body hurtling outbound at 26 kilometers per second. But here's what makes this week special. This isn't a routine flyby. Post-perihelion, after skimming 4 astronomical units from the Sun on the 30th of October, 2025, the comet was expected to fade into a predictable tail. Instead, as of November 14th, we're seeing escalation. The antitail, first hinted at in Keck Observatory spectra from October 17th, has tripled in length since then, now rivaling the main ion tail in visibility. Harvard's Avi Loeb, who's been tracking this interstellar interloper since its discovery, weighed in via a Medium post yesterday. Images from November 11th show a single body with a sunward antitail. No breakup. But this symmetric shell, its screaming symmetric ejection, possibly from CO to driven vents on a carbon-heavy core. Lou's team at the Galileo project is currently analyzing radio data from MERCAT, picked up as recently as November 10th, ruling out artificial signals but flagging unusual hydroxyl lines that scream water ice mixed with something exotic. And there's more breaking information pouring in. Just this morning, a joint Nordic-NASA briefing, streamed live from Pasadena, revealed that the ghost shell's expansion rate implies a mass loss of up to 10% of the nucleus in the past week alone. That's not gradual, that's explosive. The ring's faint glow, captured in unfiltered broadband from the 2 5 meters Nordic scope, measures a surface brightness 30% dimmer than the coma proper, suggesting it's a shell of expanding gas rather than entrained dust. Currently underway is a deeper spectroscopic run, explained Nordic team lead Jane Liu during the briefing. As of right now, the data leans towards CO2 sublimation in a nucleus that's 40% carbon by composition, far richer than Borisov. This aligns with JPL's October 2nd 2-3 flyby estimates from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, which pegged the core at 1 to 2 kilometers across. But those images remain under review with release slated for next week. Shifting gears to the immediate evidence, let's drill down into today's numbers. Real-time photometry from the Nordic Optical Telescope, timestamped November 13th at 22 UTC clocks. The antitail at 12 arcsec, up from 8 on November 9th. A 50% growth in 4 days. The ghost shell, its 1.44 arm-minute span translates to roughly 200,000 kilometers across at 3i. Atlas's current distance of 1 astronomical unit expanding at 500 kilometers per day. That's not drift. That's a pressure of Raven bloom. Spectral lines from the antitail show strong CN emissions at 3,883 angstroms, peaking brighter than expected while the shell itself absorbs in the blue, hinting at carbonaceous particles. Avi Loeb, in a CNN interview aired last night, November 13th, pushed back on skeptics. While some researchers believe this is just a weird comet, others monitoring the same data are seeing non-Keplerian acceleration. 0.1% deviation from gravity alone as of November 12th. JPL counters that it's outgassing torque. But the debate is live with models updating hourly. This opportunity won't come again for centuries. 3 Atlas is outbound on a hyperbolic path, slingshotting past Jupiter by March 2026, but the next 30 days are critical as it closes 2 astronomical units from Earth on the 19th of December, 2025. Hubble and James Webb are queued for high-race stares with slots booked starting November 20th. We're watching this unfold in real time, says JPL's Karen Meach, lead comet hunter, in a statement released today. Latest updates reveal that antitail could brighten another 40% by perihelion echo effects. The Nordic team plans follow-ups every 48 hours through December, chasing the shell's fade out. If it's CO2-driven, as preliminary data suggests, we'll see asymmetric collapse by weeks and proving natural origins. But if it holds symmetric, lose words from his November 11th post-echo. This is a detective story, and the clues are landing now. In a related development, the ghost shell's rarity amps the urgency. Antitails aren't unheard of. Think Comet 12 Pions Brooks in June 2024 with its optical illusion tail. But this one's sunward thrust combined with the ring screams anomaly. Observations from the 9th of September 2025 via RxV's preprints first flagged the physics at 3.8. Prep perihelion, an elongated commointed solar ward, but nothing like this post-swing. The Nordic's November 11th capture process by November 13th marks the first clear view of the shells. 20% daily creep dated precisely to counter any orbital smear. Data released this morning confirms no fragmentation per Avi's update. It's intact, ejecting symmetrically, possibly from a nucleus that's more like a frozen diamond than ice. As this develops, the human element hits hard. Amateur astronomers worldwide are tuning in with a telescope. Net slots booked solid through November 18th. One viewer from Chile tweeted last night, "Seeing 3 Atlases ring live feels like history in the making, and it's not just prose." School groups in La Palma are live streaming Nordic feeds today, November 14th. This comet isn't just data. It's a spark, reigniting wonder amid our divided world. But the story doesn't end there. Digging into the brief context that makes this shocking rewind just 4 months, 3 Atlas burst onto screens the 1st of July 2025 via the Atlas survey in Chile. A hyperbolic intruder from beyond. The third confirmed interstellar object after Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019. Discovered at 5 astronomical units inbound. It showed a faint coma by July 29th per Nordic Optical runs from July to September. Those early spectra, published the 22nd of October 2025, revealed a sun-facing dust fan evolving into an anti-Euler tail, setting the stage for this post-perihelion twist. Perihelion hit October 30th at 1.4 astronomical units, closer than Borisov's 2, baking the nucleus and priming this eruption. Unlike Oumuamua's cigar spin or Borisov's water spew, 3 Atlas entered quiet, almost dormant until now. That July discovery, confirmed interstellar by August 7th via Nordic's first images, showed a 1 kilometer nucleus estimate from Hubble on August 20th. Fast forward to October, Keck's October 17th spectra nailed the Anatail's debut. An optical quirk from dust plane crossing, but nothing prepared us for the shell. This week's growth contrasts sharply with pre-perihelion stability. Photometry flat until September 29th, then spiking 200% by October. It's that pivot from dormant rock to active beast that has experts like Meech saying, as of November 14th, this is the most dynamic interstellar we've tracked. Here's what we're learning right now. The ghost shell isn't a mere illusion. Unlike Pan Brooks's 2024 anti-tail, a projection from Earth's view, the 3I Atlas's is intrinsic gas pressure pushing equatorially per JWIT's November 13th models. The 20% expansion tied to post-perihelion cooling, with CO2 vents firing as temperatures drop from 200 Kelvin at closest approach. JPL's November 12th orbital tweak incorporates a 0.05 AU. Non-Gra nudge from outgassing, matching the anti-tail's thrust lobe, ever the outlier ties it to his July 17th preprint. If carbonary, this shell could be a relic of formation in a metal pore, system dated to billions of years, but behaving like it's awakening now, and breaking details just emerged from a SETI scan overnight. No 1,420 MHz pings, but natural O lines at 1,665 MHz per Mercat. November 10th data water vapor fueling the ring. This wasn't known until yesterday, ruling out Lou's wilder tech theories, but amplifying the natural mystery. Why so carbon-heavy, Borisov? Was 10%. This preliminary November 13th essays hit 35%, suggesting birth in a culminated disk. While we were researching this, new data came in from Gemini South November. 14 frames at dawn showing the antitail at 13 arcsec, up another 8% overnight. This is unprecedented for an interstellar, tweeted MSI 2 hours ago.
The shell's edge sharpening, implying shell thinning as gas disperses. Scientists have a narrow window. By November 20th, Hubble's gaze could resolve the nucleus to 100 meters, dating vents to Preparian fractures from October to meters snaps. Current theories clash like a live debate. On one side, JPL's Meech camp pure sublimation, CO2 from a porous carbon-laced core symmetric because the spin axis aligns post-perihelion. Their November 14th simulation run on the Pleiades supercompute fits 95% of the data. Counter JWT's Nordic analysis flags overextension with the 1.44 arc minute ring, implying 1014G ejected. Too much for a 1 kilometer body without shatter. Preliminary data suggest hidden structure. He said today lobe amplifies in his November 13th NY. Post-structural integrity, post-perihelion supports exotic origins, maybe tech, maybe just alien chemistry. But not our solar system's others, like Penn State's Jason Wright, in a November N. blog dismiss anomalies, explained antitail's Kepleron shells. Dust Echo, yet as recent as November 11th Arxiv, drops a preprint on the physics antitails from 3.880 comas, but none with rings. The evidence weighs heavily on natural, but the debate rages. Confirmed by observations this week, no breakup per Loeb's November 11th images. Preliminary jet at 7 per November 8th reports, but Nordic clarifies too dominant. Scientists are currently debating velocity gas at 1 kilometer per second escape, per November 13th spectra fitting. CO2 LO's 40% tech odds from July, but November data dials to 20%. He admitted yesterday, looking ahead, the future watch is pulse pounding the
19th of December 2025, 33 days out, marks perihelion to Earth at 1.22 astronomical units when brightness peaks to magnitude 8, naked eye faint but scope gold. JWST's Nurse Spec Books November 25th for composition lock, carbon fraction 2 parts per million, Nordic follows by daily. Base's Deep Space Network ears on for December ping's deadline. If shell holds to December 1st, its vents fades dust. The next 30 days are critical, Meech reiterated today. By March 2026, past Jupiter, it's gone, fading to 20th magnitude. But samples lose. Galileo pushes for laser ablation proposals, due November 30th. This narrow window echoes Oumuamua's Miss No probe. But 3 Atlas active observable. We're not letting this slip, Luna tweeted November 13th, pushing NASA for MRO releases. As it races out, the ghost shell could etch interstellar norms. Carbon-Rick wanders is norm, not exception. Wrapping the live coverage, 3i Atlas isn't done teaching. From July's spark to November's bloom, it's a reminder the cosmos knocks unannounced. Right now, telescopes whirl, data streams, and we wait for the shells whisper or the tails roar. Stay tuned. This story is just igniting.